Click Orlando.com and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 5 p.m.
Now at 5, you have about 2 hours left to head to the polls for the 2024 presidential election. Polls close tonight at 7 p.m. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Bell.
Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Matt Austin. If you haven't voted yet, here are some important things we want to tell you right off the top. The polls close at 7. But if you're still in line after that time, stay in line. As long as you are there in line, you have to be allowed to vote. You are allowed to bring whatever guides you need help to vote. And if you mess up your ballot, you are allowed to ask for a new one. Just some things we wanted to remind you about headed into this day. Maybe you're hitting it up after work. Big question tonight is who will be the next to live and work in the White House? Former President Trump cast his vote in Palm Beach, Florida today. He will be at Mar-a-Lago tonight. Vice President Harris already mailed in her ballot. She will be at her alma mater, Howard University in Washington, D.C.
It looks like we have a very substantial lead. It looks like we have many more Republicans voting today than Democrats.
It is time for a new generation of leadership in America.
So we have team coverage on all the big races for you tonight. Anchor Eric Von Anken is live at the GOP watch party in Winter Garden. But first, we want to get to News 6's Treasure Roberts. She is live at the Democrats watch party at the Abbey in Orlando. Treasure, start us off.
Yeah, and as soon as those polls close at 7 p.m., and that's when this watch party is going to get started. I spoke with organizers. They're telling me a whopping 500 people are set to be here tonight, including candidates, new candidates, incumbents like Democratic House Leader Fentrice Driscoll in District 67, Representative Tom Keene in District 35, and Representative Anna Escamani in House District 42. We caught up with her earlier today. She was out canvassing in Orlando neighborhoods. She told me that she's not sitting around and waiting, and she's going to take every chance she has to make sure that people are making their voice heard. And she wanted to let them know what exactly is at stake here. Take a listen to the key issues I asked her about. Let's talk about some of the things you are advocating for. I know you were fighting for to pass a bill for housing security, lowering housing costs.
You got it.
But that died in a committee.
Yep.
Tell me how you felt when it died, and if you are elected again, what are you going to do to try to pass something else for the people who are struggling and just crunched by these high prices?
100%. I mean, the biggest issues that we hear from our voters is housing affordability. Whether it's the cost of housing, the cost of rent, or property insurance, these are the issues that continue to challenge our families that are prioritized when they go to the ballot box. And unfortunately, a lot of these bills, they don't move to the final passage because we don't have the numbers in the legislature. So I'm very hopeful that today we'll see a shift in the legislative makeup. We are trying to get out of that super minority as Democrats, so there can be more of a balance in the legislature, and that'll help us pass some of these really important bills.
So the speeches are going to start tonight at 8:30, and as you heard Representative Escamani say, they are trying to make history tonight. They want to break that Republican majority, and most of all, they want to elect Kamala Harris. In downtown Orlando, Treasure Roberts getting results, News 6.
See what happens as Florida, according to the pundits, has turned into a completely red state. Just a few years ago, we were purple. Treasure Roberts, thank you very much. Now, the Florida Republicans keeping an eye on the election results from Winter Garden.
Yeah, News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken joins us from their watch party at a restaurant on South Dillard Street. Eric.
Right, Lisa, same situation as Treasure there. So this watch party gets going in about 2 hours or so. 7 o'clock is the official start time. And when these Republicans show up, they're hoping for not just wins, but holding off challenges. Treasure mentioned this a little bit. Strong challenges from the Democrats. Their goal is to break the supermajority locally here in Florida, the supermajority that the Republicans have had in the House and the Senate, or at least the House, for a very long time. They're trying to break up that two-thirds supermajority. What does that do? Well, if you got two-thirds of the power of the majority in the Senate and the House, that means you can push along bills, you can move things very quickly, you don't have to accept questions. So Democrats are trying to stop that. Republicans gained a bunch of seats, 6 of them, especially in 2022, because remember what these election analysts said is a 2022 Democrat turnout was way low. It was an off presidential election year. Democrats did not show up. So Republicans picked up seats all throughout Central Florida in particular that people did not expect them to win, largely because the Democratic turnout was low. In many of those races, there were more Democrats registered than Republicans. So these Republicans know tonight they have a challenge to hold on to those seats. They think they can do it, but they know that the Democrats have come on strong. And historically, if you just look at the numbers, they understand Democrats have a good shot. We will be here all night with them. For now, we're live in Winter Garden. Eric Von Aken getting results. News 6.
All right, Eric, thank you.
Well, a major race on your ballot for the 2024 general election in Florida is the one for U.S. Senate.
You have probably seen a ton of campaign ads for this race. Republican Senator Rick Scott is hoping to keep his seat against former Congresswoman Debbie Mucarsel-Powell. News 6 investigator Louis Bolden joins us live from the newsroom with more on this. And Louis, this is expected to be a tight race tonight.
Oh, Lisa, it is. And if you look back historically, most of Rick Scott's races in the past have been close. This one, there is a lot at stake. He could lose the seat, or if he keeps it, Republicans could get control of the Senate, and he definitely has more political aspirations. So when people think their vote doesn't count, it definitely does. This race is important because it could decide who controls the Senate. The National Democratic Party has been pouring money into this race for that reason. Rick Scott is one of the wealthiest senators and has been using a lot of his own money. So we will see how it all shakes out. Matt and Lisa?
Yeah, Louis, it's interesting that you say he always just seems to barely win. And our political analyst, Jim Clark, says because he uses his own money, he almost knows just how much he needs to spend to eke out those wins.
You know, it seems like he almost has it down to a science now.
Yeah, it's true.
It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight, Louis, for sure. That's when a lot of people will be watching. Florida's 6 proposed constitutional amendments are also hot topics for this election. So if you need a breakdown for some of them on today's ballot, we have you covered. Like we mentioned earlier at 4:30, Amendment 4 is about abortion rights. And voting yes on this one would mean government cannot be involved in abortion, and abortion access would be expanded past 6 weeks. Voting no would keep abortions banned after the first 6 weeks of pregnancy. For Amendment 1, a yes vote means school board members will be elected in a partisan election rather than nonpartisan elections beginning in 2026. Voting no would keep school board elections unchanged. Amendment 2, also on your ballot, and it's a little confusing for some voters. Voting yes on this one would establish a state constitutional right to fish and hunt. A no vote means that hunting and fishing rights stay as they are.
Maybe these things in the future are attacked or dwindled away. So I think that what we were trying to do with this is go ahead and put it in the Constitution that there will always be the right to hunt and fish.
A lot of people, are very confused about this amendment, because they don't understand, what is written, how it is actually going to be applied. And I think that is the biggest concern that most people have.
Now, there are several key races and constitutional amendments on the ballot that may impact you on a national, state, and local level. So we've put together a full guide for you. Just look for this story at clickorlando.com/results 2024. And don't forget, we will have full election coverage on all of our platforms. We are live with local results and analysis here on News 6, clickorlando.com, and the News 6 Plus streaming app until at least midnight tonight. And polling sites across the country are seeing strong turnout as voters decide on the next president.
Got a lot up for grabs coming up. We're checking in with our political expert, asking him about the battleground states to watch tonight and how they will decide the election. Julie.
We are sitting at 81 degrees under overcast skies. If you are heading out this evening, keep in mind you'll run into a few isolated showers. We'll pinpoint who's seeing some rain right now, and we will talk about what's going on with Tropical Storm Rafael.
You're watching News 6 at 5, getting results for you on Election Day. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Launch Credit Union. Go beyond. Don't get stuck on your drive. Trust News 6 Traffic and Trooper Steve to pinpoint every detour and backup that pops up where you live.
Yeah, my dad all of a sudden thought. Sky 6 flew over West Creek Elementary School. All right. Well, this is West Creek Elementary School in Hunters Creek, where we saw a line of people waiting out there. Another big story today, the battleground states that will decide the presidency.
It's hurricane season, and the Pinpoint Weather Team is here for you, tracking the hurricane's path with pinpoint accuracy, live Doppler radar, and 3D views inside the storm. Stay safe with the News 6 Weather Team, getting results. Sponsored by AK Certified Roofing.
Okay, so let's start this again. Many people choosing to cast their vote today on Election Day. I'm a purist, just like these folks you see out here. Sky 6 flew over West Creek Elementary School in Hunters Creek, where we saw a line of people waiting. Another big story today, even though we're all getting out to vote in Florida, we might not be as vital as years past. The battleground states that will decide the presidency are on your screen. CBS News considers 7 of them to be battlegrounds. I'm talking Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. These are the people who are going to choose the next president of the United States. UCF history professor, News 6 political analyst, Dr. Jim Clark joins us now. Jim, thank you so much. You're going to be sticking with us the rest of the night here. Okay.
Well, we'll know for sure one way or the other in about 4 or 5 hours from now. So.
You're absolutely right.
All right,
Jim Clark, excited to spend the evening with you, my friend. Stick around.
All right, we do want to head over to meteorologist Julie Broughton, who's standing by as predicted. We were dodging a few showers out there today, but nothing too crazy that should keep people away from the polls.
Right, just some quick moving showers out there. Some still are hanging around for us, but we'll see that chance of rain actually going up tomorrow. Here's what it looks like for you right now, though, as we take a live look over downtown Orlando. This is our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera, where we have a lot of cloud cover hanging around, sitting right now at 81 degrees. It feels like 84, and at times today, some spots felt close to 90, so a pretty humid day for us. Winds are coming in out of the east at 15 miles per hour, and that's helping to slide some of those showers off toward the west. Now, where you're seeing rain right now, or where you've seen rain recently, a little bit cooler. 78 right now in Kissimmee. You're also at 78 in Leesburg, 79 in the Villages, 81 for our friends in Ocala, and generally hovering around 80 degrees right along the coast right now. Here's a look at the radar. Again, most of us are dry right now, but if you are heading out to vote in those last few hours, again, eastern Seminole County, you're seeing some pockets of moderate rainfall. These showers are continuing to move off toward the west. We can loop the radar for you over the last hour and show you the general movement of the shower. So we saw some heavier rain moving through Titusville, now moving into eastern Seminole County, and we do have some more rain out over the Atlantic, so that will continue to move on shore for us. And again, our chance of rain goes up tomorrow, all thanks to moisture from Tropical Storm Rafael. Now, Rafael not going to directly impact us. You can see it's still in the Caribbean, getting better organized. Now it has a little bit more well-defined center of circulation. So now that that's happened, we think it will be able to strengthen fairly quickly. As of 4 o'clock, maximum sustained winds were at 70 miles per hour. So getting so close to that Category 1 hurricane strength. We do think it will become a hurricane through the overnight hours or even later tonight before moving across the western tip of Cuba into the Gulf of Mexico. Then when it moves into the Gulf, we're expecting it to continue to stay well to the west of Florida and move into an environment that's less conducive for strengthening. So it will likely make landfall somewhere, likely Louisiana, but anywhere really in this area from Texas all the way over toward Alabama as a tropical storm. So the big picture with this stays well off to our west, but we'll see that tropical moisture surging to the north. So for our Wednesday, we actually could see some pockets of heavy rain, certainly more active tomorrow than we've seen recently. Here's how this looks on the clouds and rain forecast for you. We keep our skies pretty overcast moving through the evening and into the overnight hours. I think later this evening, especially in areas like Brevard County, we'll still keep some showers in the picture. Overnight, we can't rule out a few of those isolated showers, and then some heavier rain really begins moving from south to north during the morning hours tomorrow. By noon, we could see some of those pockets of heavier rain from Ocala down through the Villages, back down toward Kissimmee, and we'll keep our rain chances elevated for our Thursday as well. well. Now, here's your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast brought to you by Napleton Chrysler Jeep Dodge.
Muggy overnight with some of those showers. Our lows fall to 74. Then we bump that chance of rain up tomorrow. We leave it at 30% for Thursday before drying things out heading into the weekend. But notice those temperatures stay warmer than our normal of 80 every single day for the 7-day forecast.
Julie, thank you. The 17-year-old arrested in the downtown Orlando Halloween mass shooting faces a judge.
Yeah, coming up, we'll tell you what happened in court as he's now being charged as an adult.
No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6 to get you the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
I gotta get things started.
Get things started with News 6 Mornings. You gotta watch before you go.
Want News 6 straight to your inbox? Sign up for your favorite newsletter at clickorlando.com/newsletter. Sign up for In the Loop theme park scoops, Setting the Stage, and Florida Foodie, just to name a few. Sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
The 17-year-old arrested in the downtown Orlando Halloween shooting will stay in jail.
Jalen Edgar appeared in court this morning. A judge gave him no bond. Right now, he's charged as an adult. Orlando police say video shows Edgar raise his arm and shoot into a crowd near Central Boulevard and Orange Avenue on Halloween night. After a second shooting a block away, officers arrested the teen. 9 people were shot, 2 of them killed, including a UCF student. Well, if you haven't already, you now have about an hour and a half to cast your ballot on this election day.
Many people are voting with the economy in mind. We'll hear some perspective on that coming up from an expert. Plus, we are taking a closer look at the local races and decisions on your ballot that could impact your day-to-day life. We're getting results on News 6 on this election day. Keep it here. We will be right back.
Congratulations to Trooper Steve on winning the 2024 Law Enforcement Officer of the Year Award.
Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 5:30. Now at 5:30, after months of campaigning and hundreds of millions of dollars spent, the 2024 presidential election is in the hands of voters like you. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell. You're watching News 6 at 5:30. The ballot is packed with decisions for Brevard County voters. News 6's James Barbero is talking with voters in his neighborhood right now. James, thank you. In Orange County, there are 10 charter amendments on your ballot. Charter amendments change the county's rules for doing business. Charter Amendment 4 is about ensuring future growth and development in rural and urban areas, aligned with the county's long-term planning goals. So voting yes on Amendment 4 will create a special evaluation tool for Orange County. Voting no will leave the current evaluation process for development unchanged. Charter Amendment 6 would increase the number of county commission districts from 6 to 8. Voting yes could increase responses to residents' needs, but it will have additional costs. Voting no means you prefer to keep the current 6-member districts. Of course, we break down each of the charter amendments on our website in this story at clickorlando.com/results 2024. Voters in 2 Central Florida school districts are deciding how to pay for renovations and maintenance at schools.
News 6 investigator Eric Sandoval exposed the issues earlier this year. He's live in Orlando with more on what's at stake in this race. Eric?
Yeah, Matt, we are live at the tap room at Dubsdread, and over the last hour, a few members of the Orange County School Board have arrived. They're going to be watching the election results as they come in tonight at this location. Now, in Orange County, meantime, we showed you the inside of Howard Middle School, which is the oldest school in the Orange County School District. That school district was using money already raised through its half-cent sales tax to renovate the school. Today, they're asking the district and voters to renew that tax. Now, of course, we're going to be watching those election results with Orange County School Board members as they come in tonight. Of course, we'll get reaction if and when it passes. We are live in Orange County tonight. Eric Sandoval, getting results, News 6. Back to you.
All right, Eric, it'll be interesting, especially on those school board taxes, to see what voters in the two separate counties decide.
It is tough to get people to raise taxes in any way. We'll have to see. Eric Sandoval, thank you so much. Another big concern is the economy for this election. Stocks did rally today. The Dow up more than 400 points, extending a banner year for the stock market. The S&P and NASDAQ both up more than 20% for the year.
The final economic report before the election from the Labor Department came out on Friday. It showed America's employers added just 12,000 jobs in October. That was partially due to the hurricanes and labor strikes. Now, the Fed wants the labor market to slow down to help ease inflation. The report also showed that wages are up. And yesterday, we reported that gas prices continue to drop. So joining us now to talk more about all of that, Dr. Sean Snaith, the director of UCF's Institute for Economic Forecasting. All right. Well, thank you for spending some time with us right now. You're going to be here throughout the night. Dr. Sean Snaith will be a part of our political panel that I'm hosting tonight on clickorlando.com and on the WKMG YouTube channel. Experts from UCF, Rollins College, and FAMU Law will take an in-depth look at the issues that are driving voters in record numbers to the polls. That's from 7 until 8 o'clock tonight, so be sure to join us. And by the way, send us your questions and comments right now, and we will get them answered for you. You can head to clickorlando.com, send us a comment there.
And don't forget, we have full election coverage on all of our platforms. We're live with local results and analysis right here on News 6, clickorlando.com, and the News 6 Plus streaming app, all until midnight. We'll be here watching those results come in. Another thing to watch tonight is the balance of power in Congress.
We're taking a look at the big races across the country and the impact they will have no matter who wins the presidency. Julie.
We've seen a muggy day today with some isolated showers. We made it to 84 after a morning low of 70. We're still pinpointing some rain. We'll talk about that and when our chance of rain goes up coming up.
Plus, we are speaking with a 103-year-old woman who stepped into the booth earlier today to cast her ballot with a quiet pride and determination that has carried her through over a century of change. You're watching News 6 at 5:30. Getting results. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Good Greek Moving and Storage. When every minute matters, News 6 is getting you all the facts and every detail that matters to you for breaking news turned to News 6. See Ginger Gadsden only on News 6.
We want to take a live look at our City of Mount Dora live camera right now. Looks like it's a pretty pleasant evening out there in Mount Dora. We were dodging just a few showers.
When I went to my polling place today, we brought an umbrella because it was raining a little bit, but it's been kind of spotty, meteorologist Julie brought, and things looking much better tonight.
Yeah, and we'll keep a few isolated showers around this evening, but our chance of rain really goes up tomorrow, and I do think tomorrow we could see some periods of heavy rain. But we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. This is what we're dealing with this evening. You still have about another hour or so to head out to vote. Looking at some gloomy skies in Brevard County. This is our Launch Credit Union camera. We're officially reporting sunshine, 77 degrees, and you see the breeze there. Winds are coming in out of the east around 15 miles per hour. We're sitting at 81 in Orlando. Most spots are beginning to fall into the 70s. You know, sunset is around 5:37 now, so those temperatures begin dropping pretty quickly after sunset. It is 76 degrees in the Villages, 79 in Palm Coast, and also 79 in New Smyrna Beach. Now remember, the normal high this time of year is around 80. We have been well above that just about every day for the last few weeks. 84 for our high in Orlando today. We started the day pretty muggy out there at 70 degrees, well above that normal low of 60 degrees, and we'll keep it warmer than normal as we move through the next several days. Now you heard Matt talking about dodging a few isolated showers. Most of us are dry, but we do have a little bit of rain out there right now. If you're in Seminole County, right along I-4, we're seeing some light rainfall as we go on a little bit closer for you right in the Oviedo area over Winter Springs. You're seeing some of those showers as well. These showers are generally moving off toward the west thanks to that strong easterly flow. And you can see how these showers are holding together as they continue moving off toward the west. And more rain out over the Atlantic means we'll keep some more showers moving on shore in areas like Brevard County as we move through the evening hours and really even into the overnight hours. Of course, we are tracking the tropics. We'll take you out to the Caribbean and show you what's going on with Tropical Storm Rafael. As of 4 o'clock, it is getting very close to hurricane strength. It is a strong tropical storm with winds at 70 miles per hour. It's moving to the northwest at 15 miles per hour, and we do anticipate it will become a hurricane overnight tonight, certainly into the day tomorrow. Still is in an environment where it could strengthen some more, then moving across western Cuba and emerging out over the Gulf of Mexico, maintaining hurricane status. The official cone and all of the models are keeping it well to the west of Florida, and it will move into an area in the Gulf that is less conducive for strengthening, some strong upper level winds, some cooler sea surface temperatures. So we do think by the time it makes landfall in the northern Gulf of Mexico, it will be as a tropical storm. But again, as we look at the satellite imagery, it's been looking a whole lot better today as far as organization. So because it now has an inner core, it looks like it'll be able to strengthen fairly quickly for us. Here's a look at the setup. We always talk about the steering currents. Big area of high pressure sitting over the Atlantic. That clockwise circulation is helping to guide Rafael off to the north and west, and there's nothing to really shift it back to the east. So that is why it looks like it will most likely make landfall anywhere from East Texas over into Alabama, again, likely as a tropical storm. Now, it will begin surging moisture into our area, so that's why our rain chances are going up tomorrow. Here's a look at your clouds and rain forecast. We stop the clock at 9 o'clock. Most of us pretty cloudy out there. Some isolated showers possible around 10, 11 o'clock in Brevard County. Some of those holding together, making it into Marion County. But notice tomorrow by lunchtime where you see those areas of yellow, red, and orange, I think we will see some pockets of heavier rain as moisture levels really come up across central Florida. Now, your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Publix.
We will keep it muggy overnight tonight, 74 with some of those showers, especially along the coast. Rain chances tomorrow are at 40%. We keep them at 30% for Thursday. Highs stay warmer than normal in the low to mid 80s, and we dry it out in time for your long holiday weekend.
All right, Julie, thank you. Well, on this election day, it's not just the presidency being decided, but also the balance of power in Congress.
With all 435 House seats and a third of the U.S. Senate on the line, whichever party wins the majority will have a big influence on what a future Harris or Trump administration can accomplish. Congressional correspondent Scott McFarlane shows us the races to watch. A 103-year-old woman cast her ballot today, and for her, making her voice heard is especially meaningful.
At one point in time, you probably didn't have the opportunity to vote.
No, ma'am, I sure didn't.
She grew up during a time when voting rights were almost non-existent for Black Americans. Coming up, she shares why it's so important to vote.
Coming up in the morning, results 2024. The votes are in after Election Day.
Will we have a winner in the race for the White House? Plus, the overnight reaction to our big local races.
And of course, your pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you for News 6 Morning starting at 5 a.m.
You're watching News 6 at 5:30. Getting results. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Freedom Health Medicare Advantage Plans.
Don't miss your favorite News 6 podcast, Florida 4th Estate, Riff on This, Florida Foodie, and Real Talk Real Solutions. Listen when you want on clickorlando.com or download News 6 Plus to your smart TV to start listening now. Sponsored by Lexus of Orlando. Well, today is a big deal for millions of Americans, but it's also a big deal for a 103-year-old woman who went to the polls once again. She was born in 1921 in the Deep South, and Lily Mae King Harper grew up in an era when racial segregation was the law of the land, and voting rights for Black Americans were almost non-existent. She vividly remembers the hardships of Jim Crow and how she once could only dream of having a say in the nation's future. She spoke with News 6's Angie Casada earlier today.
Why is it so important to come out and let your voice be heard?
It's just, and it's just important. I just love to do it. I like to do it.
So today she cast her ballot at precinct 205 in Apopka. Her daughter says her mother truly is an inspiration.
I tell you, when you watch how hard it is for her to just get in there and the effort just to get out of the car, anybody who sat home today and didn't vote has to be feeling pretty small.
Yeah, and unfortunately, especially young people, that's why it's so great to see so many young people who are out casting their ballot, letting their voice heard, because not everyone is aware of the history and what so many people had to go through to get the right to vote. Well, News 6's Ginger Gadsden is here now with what we're working on for News 6 at 6.
Yeah, and she was born the year after women got the right to vote. Incredible. We're checking in at local watch parties for both Democrats and Republicans as we near an hour until polls close. That plus expert analysis on the 6 proposed amendments on your ballots this year. And we're checking in on how officials are doing tonight to address what they're doing to address any issues that may be popping up at the polls. You're watching News 6 on election night. We'll be right back.